Hi folks, welcome back to Blackbeard's Detailing YouTube channel. I'm Ross, and in this episode we have battery charger reviews. This one I would class as a fairly expensive high-end charger. It's a Ctek MXS 5.0 and it comes in at £69 on Amazon. This one is the Topdon Tornado4000 and this comes in at £36 on their own website. Now, both of them look just like typical battery chargers. This one we've got connected up to this wee Toyota Yaris GR. Straight for the offset, I bought this with my own money. Again, just got it off Amazon, and this one is basically belongs to a friend. So it came down, we were looking at it and thought, why don't we do a wee comparison test, especially when I found out the price difference between the two of them, quite substantial. That's pretty much half the price of this one. And after looking at the specs, that one is kinda a bit better than this one. This only charges lead acid batteries, whereas this one will charge your lead acid and lithium batteries. When that comes in is with a lot of newer cars now, coming in with different battery tech on them, so it'll be handy to have one that basically can charge every single one of them. What we're going to do now is we'll lift them off, we'll move the camera over and we'll get a wee bit kind of closer look at each of the chargers. We'll have a wee check of the buttons and see what the operation looks like whilst it's actually in use. Okay, so the actual operation of it, it looks really swish. It feels really well built. I'm like squeezing it, nothing's giving way. It's got a kind of plasticky rubberized casing around it that actually grips fairly well onto the slidey plastic on the car this is sitting on. We hooked this up and it went through a wee kind of cycle itself and basically selected 12 volt small normal charge. And this is a lead acid battery, so it's identified the correct type of battery it needs to charge up. The lights, everything are all very clear. Everything looks like really swish, really quite cool and modern. I always thought the Ctek one looked a bit basic, a bit kinda like the old battery charge kind of things, but again, it's a battery charger. Like you don't need big fancy screens on it, you just need it to show the kind of basic information. But for people who are into the kind of cool gadgety things, this one certainly wins on looks. Back section of it, again, it just gives you some basic information on it, the model number, the input power, the basically charging current, and it also is IP65 protection, which also the Ctek is as well. Ctek is slightly more powerful. That's able to put out 5 amps of charge, whereas this only puts out 4 amps. But again, there's a huge price difference between these two, and you've also got the ability to charge up different types of battery with this one. It's also got the repair function on it as well. Now, the mode button, I'm not going to press it now because it's in operation, but we will take it off in a wee second. The mode button feels very nice and clicky. It's like one of these sealed in buttons, basically, that's there. And again, for what I figured out, when you plug it in, it does this itself, so unless you will need to put it into some sort of repair mode, I think you could just leave that button alone. But yeah, it's certainly really robust and it looks fantastic. Okay, so onto the Ctek one now whilst it's in operation. Again, it's been plugged in. With this one you have to tell it what you're charging. So you've got motorbike, car, an AGM battery and recondition setting. So it's just set to the car at the moment. Power on, the basically exclamation mark, if it picks up any issues then that will light up. You have this basically system of number 1 to number 8, which shows you basically need the instruction manual to figure out what stage it's at, whereas with the other one you've just got a kind of percentage marker. It looks fairly kind of complicated, there's like squiggly lines and all that stuff. I did often wonder why they just don't have a percentage to let you know what stage it's at the charging, or whether there is an issue with it. But again, it's kind of just is what it is, it's the same kind of design as them. This feels plasticky. It feels like if it was dropped from a kind of height it would damage it. They do sell a rubber surround which you can buy, but I tend to be quite kind of careful with my tools anyway, so it was never a problem with me, or a major concern of me thinking I would drop it. Big, clear, instruction on the side there, battery charger for 12 volt lead acid batteries, and it's got just your kind of various warnings and stuff like that. It does have the input and the output data stamped on the side of it there as well, which we'd obviously spoken about when we were going through those ones. This charges at 5 amp rate, another one is only 4. But yeah, again, fairly simple, nice, basic design. It's really easy to clean over, which is the kind of benefit to the kind of slidey kind of plastic. Cleans up well. The other one that kind of rubberized can get grimy, especially when you're working in cars, but you've got that way up of it either being dirty. At the end of the day, it's garage equipment, it's going to get dirty at some point, and it being protected if it falls. But yeah, again, nice, clean, simple design, but this is pretty complicated looking. Okay, so onto the power cables now. This obviously comes with the UK 3 plug attachment to it, and as you can see, we've got the two of them attached pretty much at the same point, and the Tornado has got the larger power cable. So we have on the Ctek 53 inches or 134 centimetres, and for the Tornado we have 73 inches or 185 centimetres. So not a huge difference, but I would always rather more flex than less flex. It gives you more options. And then comes to the actual clamps themselves. This is pretty much an even section on it, so we'll see if this is the same as well. And right away, just by picking these up, you can feel these are a bit more robust. It's heavier, just a heavier cable basically. This is longer still than what the Ctek's clamp ones are, so we will measure them up just to get a comparison between them. So looking at from there to this section, we've got 58 inches or 147 centimetres, and then for the Topdon Tornado, again this is quite a bit longer, so I'll just attach these on there so they're not going to slide back when I'm pulling on the end of it. As you can see, it goes back a good bit further, and so taking it from there, that is basically back to the end, and even still, I've still got flex there. I know this isn't exactly like exact, but we're looking at over 2 metres, well over 2 metres, probably about 250 centimetres, which is substantially greater flex than the Ctek one. So yeah, I'm beginning to regret my purchase of the Ctek. The actual cables themselves, as I mentioned, these ones feel a bit less thick, and by a bit, it's like kind of substantially less thicker than the Ctek ones, and they're obviously colour coded all the way through to the positive and the negative. The actual power cable itself from the other side, gauge is pretty much identical, that is, and both of them feel just as robust as each other. The Ctek one feels a bit more rubbery, so it does. This one feels a bit more plasticky, a bit more kind of slidey. Ctek one, the power cable in that feels a wee bit better, a wee bit kind of higher quality. But again, we'll move on to the clamps now. The very first thing I've realised when I picked these ones up, when my friend dropped them off, where they feel weighty. They're substantial clamps. Like, it takes a good bit of pressure to actually use these. They aren't going to come off easily. There's huge springs and inside sections in there, and the teeth are like something you'd find on a T-Rex or a Velociraptor. They're quite grippy. They aren't going to go anywhere. and the Ctek feels flimsy in comparison, if I'm being honest, which of course I am. The plastic kind of shroud covers, they've never came off, they've never broken or anything in all the times I've used them, but they just feel puny in comparison to those ones. And of course you don't have the teeth in the end of them to kind of grip them, which could be an issue when applying them onto some cars. The wee ends, both of them have got both of them have locks, or should have a locking mechanism on it. So it pops in and it should basically, yeah, it's sturdy enough, so as it shouldn't, like, it's the end of the day, it's just a plastic thing there, but yeah, that one just doesn't feel the best. I'll maybe check out this one, and that's needing substantially more. Sorry Chris, I'm like pulling your thing to bits here, but that's needing substantial more. Yeah, that's not going this time. Yeah, that's a kind of better locking mechanism. It's you can see it in there, and it's got the wee plug cover on the end of that, obviously, which isn't actually kind of fitting in real easily. So yeah, that's not the best of kind of. Oh, there we go. It's on now. So it just needs to kind of get slotted in from the top down, and yeah, that's quite good. Should we mention both of them also come with the adapters to fit them basically directly onto your battery. So if you've got a garage queen that sits there, you can just plug it in and you're good to go. And both of them obviously come with the crocodile clips. Certainly the Ctek one comes with a little pouch which lives in here, which has obviously got everything that I need in it, which is this little cigarette adapter, which I had to buy separately. The reason being, if I've got McLarens, Porsches, stuff like that, and they don't like having, or well, I certainly don't like dismantling inside the cars, and they tend to have the plug-in sections in the noses of the cars, so you can keep the batteries topped up. I'll just go grab the box for the Tornado one, and we'll get a wee look and see what's in the box. Okay, so here's the box for the Tornado4000. Quite a kind of substantial box. I won't show you. Oh, Chris, is that what you used to? It is indeed. Ideal. I'll show the fans that one. Chris is actually a fantastic singer. So yeah, I might put a wee plug to his YouTube channel. He's the head lead singer of a band called The Cartel. So yeah, check him out. Very, very good. But yeah, that's nice and padded. Again, I don't have the box for the Ctek one. I ditched that ages ago. But again, I would probably do the same with this. Once I bought this, the box would get flung away. So fairly hefty instruction user manual, but it will be in several different languages. So we have 24 pages of English instruction on there, and then of course your little terminals if you want to bolt it directly to your battery. There's no little carry pouch, which yeah, is a little bit annoying. So you would either need to stick the stuff in your own bag or keep the stuff in your box. So I'd prefer just a wee vinyl pouch like the Ctek one came from, and you can just stick it in there, especially if you keep it in your car or something like that. Put it in there, drawstring it over, chuck it underneath the boot of your car, and then you know where it is, basically. So yeah, I would rather see a little pouch bag for that, but given its price point and the fact it's half the price, can't really complain too much. So in conclusion, it says I've used the Ctek one now for ages, probably about a year and a half I've been using this. It's never failed me, never had any issues with reliability whatsoever. This does come with a 5-year guarantee, which is pretty substantial for some type of battery charger, and the Tornado comes with a 3-year guarantee, so still quite hefty, still a good guarantee. In conclusion, if this was available when I would have bought that, and if I would have seen it in person and like felt how well made it seems, not cheap feeling at all, I would 100% have just gone with this. It would have saved me half the money, and I would also be able to charge lithium batteries with it. But yeah, it's all in. No real criticisms of the Ctek other than the price point, but they have been one of the leaders in battery charging equipment for as long as I can remember. And as I say, the type of cars I get in here, certainly the Porsches and McLarens come standard with Ctek chargers, and I just wanted the charger to match the cars which I've got in, so I knew there would be no issues. But in hindsight, and knowing what I know now and having seen this, I would probably just have bought the Tornado one, and then got one of the cigarette charger adapters for it, so I could use it that way. But yeah, both of them do the job exactly as could be. But yeah, I would have probably bought this if this was available and I'd seen it prior to getting the Ctek one. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. Again, a wee comparison test just between my friend's charger and my charger. I'm a bit jealous that he got his kind of cool funky one for half the price of mine, but hopefully that helps some people out. We haven't done any battery testing kind of checks on it, anything like that. All the specifications, all that stuff's all available online. I'm not going to regurgitate them. It's just a comparison between quite a hefty costing charger and what I would have classed as a budget one, but it certainly doesn't feel budget. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, please click that wee like button, and please remember to hit the subscribe. It would really help me out. Thank you very much. Stay safe. Goodbye.